It's Saturday the 7th of November in the afternoon. I've just come down to the allotment. I've got a few little jobs to do today. I've done the first one. I've added a couple of bits of wood at the back of the water butt. The roof had a little bit of a lean on it, so the water wasn't quite going in the guttering properly. So I've just straightened it out. I've put some wood up the back and cable tied it all the way down the cage and up the uprights. So that's now standing up a bit better. So hopefully we'll get a bit more water in there. Other jobs I'm going to do today, I'm going to plant some onions. I'd already planted 2 beds and I'm going to plant at least another bed. Might as well use them all up. And we've got some garlic to plant as well. So let's have a look where we are. So these 2 have already got onions in, so they're already full up. These 2, this one's got chard in it that's doing nicely. This one did have chard in, but it hasn't done very well at all. So I'm going to pull out the couple of chard plants that are still there and put them in one of the other beds. I've got some compost, so I'm going to put a little bit of compost in, fill it up a little bit. This one's quite low, not got great soil in it, so I'll put a bit of compost in and I'm going to plant the onions in there. These 2 beds need a good weed, so I can get weeding in here, pull out these and cover them up at some point. I'm thinking of probably putting some broad beans in here so they can grow until we need the beds again in the start of summer, and hopefully they'll be ready before we need the beds again. At the back the beans are done, green beans, so I'll pull them up at some point. This bed here I'm going to put the garlic in, so again I'm going to put a bit of compost in there, just top it up a bit. That did have the squash in, so yeah, so I'm going to put a little bit of the fill that up with garlic and see how much, if we need any more room. Again, that will have pumpkins or squash in again next year. Might do sort of 3 sisters again. So yeah, so that'll be needed later in the year. Over here we've got the kale growing, is doing well. So a little bit of growth since last week, a few bits dotted about. So yeah, happy with that. I'm tempted to try and get some fleece or something to put on that, warm it up a little bit. Over this side, these have got potatoes growing in. These are doing quite well. Again, grown quite a lot in the last week, so I'm quite hopeful for those. Over there, got some more chard that's growing away slowly. 2 more beds of chard here. Some more we can harvest, so that's doing really well. I'm quite pleased with that in this sort of time of year when we've not got much else going on. And then the last 2 beds we've got potatoes in, but then they're not really doing a lot, so we'll see what happens with them in spring. So yeah, so next job is to clear this bed out, transplant some of those chard plants, see if they grow somewhere else better, bit of weeding, and then some compost, and plant the rest of the onions. Yeah, so I'm going to do that and show you what we've done. I've given this a bed a weed over now. Wasn't much in there at all. Really easy to do. Try not to disturb the soil at all. Trying to keep the sort of no dig thing going. There's really not a lot of soil in this one, so that's probably why the chard didn't do that well. It's sort of on top of the clay, heavy clay, so I'm not surprised it wasn't great. But we were just trying to sort of get as many beds as we could planted up quickly. We did this one back in maybe May, June, so we were just trying to get as much compost and stuff as we could. But we're learning as we go. So I'm going to add some of this compost now. I'm going to try and put about half of that bag in and see how far that gets us, and plant some more onions. Now we've got the bed with the compost in. I actually put the whole bag in. Don't want to do sort of half a job. So that's filled it up just over halfway. That's quite a nice height. Plenty of room to get those onions in and get them enough space to grow. So I'll do that, and then the other bed I'll I'll bring down another bag next time I come down and do that bed. I've got a few at home, so it's all good. Yeah, so I'm going to plant the onions now. I've laid out all the onions, spaced them out. Got a few more in this bed just to try and use up the bag. I think they've still got quite a lot of room. They've still got sort of 10 or 15 centimetres between each one. So I think that's good. We'll see how they get on. So now we're just going to push them all in and get them settled in. I've got all the onions in now, so the rest of the onions fitted in this bed. So that's all good. I won't water in because I think it will rain again soon anyway. It's quite cold. Yeah, so that's good. Tempted to pick some chard. We have been eating it, putting it in like stews and curries and things, using it like kale really. So I might pick a few bits of that. It's doing really well, some of this. So like this one's really nice colours. It's nice to have this colour down here in the winter. So hopefully this will keep growing through the winter months while there's not much else about. And that kale, I think we need to cover that kale up a little bit, give it a little bit of warmth. But other than that, I think that's all the job's done for today. Just a little quick visit. Some good things ticked off the list. I hope you enjoyed doing that. Interesting to see what else everyone else is doing. I know someone said they'd picked their butternut squash as well. And I think we timed that out right. They've all ripened nicely, and we've eaten 3 of them. Even those ones with the cracks in, they were absolutely fine. I just cut around the cracks, and they were really nice. We've eaten those. So yeah, I'm really pleased with that harvest this year. Definitely plant them again, and some pumpkins as well I'd like to grow. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you're all well, and I'll speak to you soon.